Good morning, Husker fans, and welcome back to the Husker Big Red YouTube channel. I'm Chris Peterson, and joining me, as always, is Danny Gillette. And we're back here on this Monday morning after another win for the Huskers. They knocked off Maryland and come from behind fashion on Saturday. So we're going to look back at that great win for Nebraska. It was a really fun day. So we'll break it down, the fallout from the win over Maryland. We'll offer up some grades, our hottest takes, and then, of course, we're going to talk about some of the rumors about Matt Rhule and him being connected to the Penn State job. So we'll break it all down. Before we get into it, please make sure that you guys hit the like button, hit the subscribe button, get into the comment section. And Danny, how are you on this Monday morning? Victory
I'm
Monday
doing
morning.
well. I'm doing well. My Patriots won, the Huskers won, and never a dull moment in Husker Nation. This is why I like covering the team, because it always seems like there's something going on every damn day, whether real or fictional in the minds of fans and, quite frankly, sometimes our heads. But I love it. I love it.
Yeah, it was an eventful weekend for college football, and of course, Nebraska took out Maryland on Saturday to get its fifth win of the season, so 5-1 for the second year in a row. But the hottest topic of conversation right now in Husker Nation is what's going on in Happy Valley, as after a third straight loss, James Franklin goes from having a team ranked number 2 in the top 5 literally 3 weeks ago to being on the unemployment line, which is pretty stunning. Pretty stunning development. A $49 million buyout. There's been tons of rumors. I saw a reporter talking about how Adidas was part of this and that they were pushing to have James Franklin, fired and moved out. I mean, who
Wow, I
knows?
didn't see that.
Yeah, it is from a legitimate reporter.
Yeah.
I can't remember who's. I would have to find it. I mean, so there's just lots of crazy things going out there, and Matt Rhule's name has been mentioned by Bruce Feldman, some other reporters, and it makes sense. I mean, he played under Joe Paterno. He's close friends with the athletic director, so he's obviously going to be on the short list. Curt Cignetti's been another name that's been thrown out there, but I do have to say, before we get into the Matt Rhule part of it, this does strike me a lot as like a Nebraska firing Bo Pelini type of thing. I mean, you look at the last 3 years, 4 years. I mean, James Franklin's fourth overall in wins, and I understand the frustration of the fan base. I really do. But as a fan who's lived through this, who's been a fan of a team who's fired 2 9-win coaches, just be careful what you wish for, because if you're firing James Franklin, I mean, I get it. He can't beat top 5 teams. He can't beat Ohio State. Can't beat Michigan. Although he has beaten both of those teams, just not very frequently. And the last few weeks have been really bad. I understand it, but it's like, he's had a decade-long career, and they've been, a playoff. I mean, if they had the 12-team playoff his entire career, they probably would have made it like 7 or 8 times, So I'm not sure. You look at who are you going to get that's an automatic upgrade over James Franklin. I mean, frankly, even if you look at Matt Rhule, his resume does not compare that well to James Franklin's at all. I mean, James Franklin's won the Big Ten championship. They were a play away from the national championship game last year. So it is pretty crazy, in this new world of college football. But there are a lot of rumors. I mean, I think we'll hear from Matt Rhule today, and I'm sure that this question will come up. But I fully expect him to. I'm just going to say it right now. I fully expect him to reaffirm his status with Nebraska. I'm honestly not that worried about Matt Rhule leaving for Penn State.
No, and honestly, I think it was this year that really kind of sealed the deal for Franklin, because I have a lot of Penn State fan friends, and they said if he can't get it done this year, then a change needs to happen, because they're loaded on both sides of the ball. Drew Aller, Katrin Allen, Nicholas Singleton. I mean, you got Trevor Pena at wide receiver. Devontae Ross. I mean, this was the year. This by far has been one of the most talented Penn State teams on paper, and he just couldn't seem to get it done this year. If he made it to the first round of the college football playoff this year, and was able to win maybe a game or two there, then fans would be a lot more pleased. But and I understand what you're saying about a Bo Pelini type of scenario, but quite honestly, I've never seen a coach do less with a whole lot more than James Franklin.
Yeah, yeah, that's true. I mean, I think that at the end of the day, I mean, Drew Aller was ranked, as the number 1 quarterback in his class,
Yeah.
and they put a lot of eggs in his basket, and he just isn't that great. He just isn't a difference maker. And the same with Nicholas Singleton and Allen. I mean, they just aren't difference makers. Like, when have you ever seen them You know, they've never made a single, like never one time in his entire career has Nicholas Singleton made me go, wow, like that's a
Yeah,
5-star player,
yeah,
not once. And frankly, neither has Drew Aller. I mean, it's just, you know, so they, and that's not, I mean, the recruiting rankings got it wrong. Those guys just weren't very good. And so, yeah, we'll see. It'll be really interesting to see what happens from here. But yeah, it's like, you know, if you're going to fire James Franklin, like you better make sure you can get somebody that's better than him. And to me, that's like, you know, we mentioned it, you know, Lane Kiffin, Kurt Signetti. Like I don't know if Matt Rhule would quantify as an upgrade just based on the resume. I mean, he's what, 2-23 against top 25 teams. I mean, I understand, you know, he's rebuilt some programs, but that basically is the James Franklin issue, is that he couldn't beat ranked teams. So I don't, like I said, if you know, the fans are driving this conversation a lot, and I feel like it is a response to fans. Like I don't think I've seen a single Penn State fan that would be excited about Matt Rhule being the coach. Like I know that they think he's a good coach, but like that wouldn't, to me, that would not be a home run move for Penn State. And it's not anything to do with Matt Rhule. It's just the perception of it. Like perception wise, he probably doesn't look like a home run hire. But you know what? Jim Tressel didn't sound like a home run hire when he went to Ohio State either. So just because, you know, the resume and all that stuff doesn't necessarily matter. Like Matt Rhule's a damn good coach, and I would hate for Nebraska to lose him. But I think in a PR sense, like I don't know if you sell that to your fan base, like, hey, we just fired a guy because he couldn't beat top 25 teams, to replace him with a guy who so far in his career hasn't beat top 25 teams. So like, yeah, I mean, Lane Kiffin, Kurt Signetti, but are any of those guys coming? I mean, I'm trying to think, there was another coach I saw connected to it, a pretty big name coach from the SEC. So I mean, like, there's going to be some guys that they're going to go after.
Xavier.
Yeah, I don't think him. Like Penn State's Penn State, so they're going to be a top school. But I mean, at the same time, they're not Ohio State. Like, I mean, it's not Alabama, it's not Georgia, it's not Notre Dame. That's who it was, Marcus Freeman. I really
No.
have a hard time seeing Marcus Freeman leaving Notre Dame for Penn State.
And I have a hard time seeing Lane leaving Ole Miss. He's got it really good over there right now, so I don't really see him leaving either. As much as he's connected, I don't see Freeman or Kiffin leaving.
Yeah, and I don't know about Signetti. I mean, and the thing about Signetti, I didn't realize this until I was looking up, is he's 64 years old. That man's 64 years old. So like,
Really?
yeah. So I mean,
he has more energy than I do. Like that doesn't seem right.
Pete Carroll's still coaching. So I'm not saying he can't coach for like another 10 years or something, but you know, it's like he's not going to be your coach probably for 20 years. Like, so I mean, I don't know. I really don't know if Kurt Signetti would leave Indiana for, like, does he need to? He's already got Indiana to the point where they can compete for the national championship this year. I mean, they beat one of the teams that, I said on Saturday morning, I thought Oregon and Ohio State were the two best teams in college football, and they whipped Oregon. I mean, not like in the score wise sense, physically. Yeah. Yes, that's what I'm saying. Like they were that really surprised me in the sense that they just, ran the football at Oregon. I didn't watch a ton of it. You know, it was just kind of scoreboard watching because the Nebraska game was on, obviously, but yeah, like this Indiana team is legit. Like, I think you could make a case. That's to me, that was the most impressive win in all of college football. And you look at, Ohio State beat Indiana 34-16 or whatever. What did Indiana do to Illinois? They beat them like 56-7. So tell me why they shouldn't be ranked number one. I mean, who, that's the thing that kind of drives me crazy about college football and the rankings. It's like, if you look, I get Ohio State was the national champion last season, but if you're looking at like resume this year, there's no reason that Ohio State should be ranked ahead of Miami or Indiana based on who they've beaten this year. So yeah, I don't know. I mean, I get that they're the best team, but so I don't know. It's really interesting because, Michigan fans are getting restless, and I know that a lot of them would like Kurt Signetti, but I would like that too, but I just don't know if he's going to make that move. So if I was Penn State, if I was any team that had an opening, that's the guy I would go after 100%. I think, man, like you got Ryan Day, and after, I honestly think that Ryan Day is probably the best coach in college football right now, outside of, when he's coaching against Michigan. And I do think they're going to beat Michigan this year, but outside of that, who would you rather want than Kurt Signetti? That guy is doing crazy, incredible things right now.
Maybe Lane, but that's about it. But I would throw the kitchen sink at Kurt Signetti if I were Penn State. And he really is doing incredible things when you look at it. And I know Husker fans have like this weird fetish for Kurt Signetti. If Kurt Signetti could do it, why can't Matt Rhule? Kurt Signetti is a very rare case of rebuilding a program, because what he is doing, and we saw it again on Saturday, is truly remarkable. It is absolutely remarkable, and I understand fans want a fast rebuild, but what Cignetti is doing is not the norm. And that's a credit to him, for sure. 100%. He's a damn good football coach.
Yeah, and I mean, he's found some different quarterback and, got a new quarterback this year out of the portal. So, yeah, they've been really impressive. And he understands how to evaluate talent and how to get those guys to play together. So, yeah, it's been impressive. But as far as Nebraska, I mean, I was wondering if like Sean Callahan would ever have anything on the Matt Rhule-to-Penn-State, in his Monday morning report for Husker Online. Nothing really there at all. So seems like there's not a lot of reporting coming from the Nebraska reporters, but I just don't think we'll see. It's going to be really interesting to see what Matt Rhule says today, but like he's not going to lead the team in the middle of the season. So no. It's going to be stressful. I think it really will be interesting to see what he says though, because if he gives kind of like just a non-committal or like I'm not going to talk about it or like whatever, then I'll be a little bit not worried, but because I don't think that Matt Rhule is going to go up there and say like I'm 100% coming back next year and then go behind and do the thing that like we've seen so many other coaches do.
He'd be foolish to do that. Yeah.
Like I just really don't think he would do that to Nebraska. Like if Matt Rhule does leave, I don't think he's going to like do Nebraska dirty on the way out. Like, I don't think he's going to sit there and try to like, I don't think he'd go to Penn State and try to like take Dylan Raiola and do all this other different stuff. And, I really don't. So like
how Lane Kiffin left Tennessee.
Yeah, exactly. Like I really would hope that Matt wouldn't do that. And I'm going to take him, whatever he says today, I'm going to take him at his word. I think if he's legitimately interested, I think he'll say something like, those are conversations to have in the offseason. I'm focused on this team right now. Or I think he's going to be like, I told the players I'm back and I see all the rumors, but I'm going to be at Nebraska, hopefully for the rest of my career. That's what I think he's going to say today. Hopefully I'm right. But my predictions, obviously you guys know they're not always correct. So we'll see. But I think it's going to be
mine aren't either.
must see TV here today. With Matt Rhule.
If Matt Rhule leaves, I trust Troy Dannon to make a hire.
Yeah, I mean, he hired Willie Fritz at Tulane, and that worked out pretty well. He also, before he left Washington, he hired Jed Fish, which was a really good hire.
Yeah.
I mean, like, if Matt Rhule did leave, honestly, Jed Fish would be on my short list of candidates. I'm not sure if he would be interested in the Nebraska job, but I think he's one like. That's somebody that if I was Penn State, I would legitimately go after because, I mean, he did it at Washington. He's coached under Harbaugh. He's coached under Saban. He's a really good offensive mind. He's developed quarterbacks. Like if there's one guy that's a really good coach that's like not at, I mean, I'm not trying to say Washington's not a major program, but you know what I mean? Like I just
not
feel
one
like
of the marquee names. Yeah.
Yeah. Like if you're Penn State, like that's a guy I would go after. So yeah, it'll be interesting to see how that all plays out, but let's talk some football now. I mean,
bring Lane home. That's what I would want. Bring Lane home. Did you know Kiffin was from Nebraska? Well,
didn't his dad coach for Nebraska at one point, or?
Yeah. Let me look that up really quick because Monty Kiffin obviously is the defensive wizard. That's Lane Kiffin's father, and then he graduated actually from a Minnesota high school, Lane did, and went to Fresno State and all that, but he did grow up in Nebraska. So
yeah, that's definitely a guy I would target. Bring back Scott Frost. I'm just kidding, but
no. Don't even joke about that, Chris.
Yeah. So, all right, let's get into this Maryland game because a lot of stuff did happen in this game. This was a really fascinating game, and it's kind of been overshadowed by the Matt Rhule stuff. But, I mean, you had a 3 interception from Dylan Raiola, 4 touchdowns, incredible game from Emmett Johnson. And but the biggest takeaway for me again is this team, on the road, they blew a 10-point lead twice. We're down by 7 points. It was ugly. I know everybody's like that pick 6 was ugly. That was on Cortez Mills, honestly. That wasn't on Dylan Raiola. I mean, it was clear that he expected, Cortez to curl, and he went inside. And it's like that. I mean, you can put it on both of them, but it's like, those sometimes when you have those miscommunication on those timing patterns, it does look bad. But it's like I'm not gonna say that we should bench
Yeah.
Dylan Raiola because of that. And everybody was
Sorry, TJ
freaking out about
Latif.
that.
Yeah.
Yeah, TJ Latif. But you know what? Like crazy as it is, I never, when guys are like, I always thought we were going to win that game. I did. I never
Yeah.
felt like we were going to lose that game.
Yeah.
And
I
as
agree.
soon as Emmett Johnson made that 50-yard run, I mean, I wish we had scored a touchdown there, but I'm glad Matt Rhule actually kicked the field goal. I kind of want him to go for the touchdown on that 4th and goal, but it ended up working out. And Dylan Raiola was incredible on that last drive. For all the
Yeah.
people who sit there and are like, "Oh, Dylan Raiola is a statue in the pocket," dude. Like that last drive, that one play, he had a free blitzer and he like did that stutter step and was falling. Like he juked the blitzer out of his shoes.
Was that a Hunter or Lindenmeyer?
That was the one to Hunter.
Yep.
And then the one to Lindenmeyer was where he totally juked the guy. I mean, he was dead. The guy had him dead to rights for a 10-yard loss on the first play of the drive. Like if Dylan Raiola doesn't make that play, it's probably game over. Because you're probably not coming back from 2nd and 19 from your own 5-yard line. So like, yeah, miss me with the TJ Latif stuff because Dylan Raiola, he's a warrior. And
that's what Matt Rhule said in the press conference, in the post-game press conference. Yeah.
Yeah. Because I mean, like 2 weeks in a row, I mean, this is exactly what you want from your quarterback. Throws a piece. He didn't throw a pick 6 last week, but threw an interception that gave away the lead. And then next drive down, what does he do? Bam, 40-yard pass to Ja'Cory Barney, and they're off to the races. Hits Isaiah Hunter on the screen, and they come back against Michigan State. And he he was determined to make up for that mistake, and he did it. And it was incredible. I was so proud of him, and what a great moment for Nebraska fans. Though we haven't had a win like that, I think, in like 8 years. I mean, like 2017 or something. So to come back and actually, experience that, just what a great moment. And I wrote this on Sunday, but I'm like, Nebraska football is becoming fun again, for fans. Like it's, instead of this, like us being stressed and losing our minds and being miserable, like we're coming through the other side. And that's thanks to Matt Rhule. So that was my biggest kind of takeaway from Saturday.
1,591 yards, 16 touchdowns, 5 interceptions. I'll take that any day of the week. And I said this on X on Saturday. This transfer portal class, you talk about evaluating talent. This transfer portal class has come through in absolute spades. I mean, and I feel like I talk about him every week, but he's really stepping up. And Isaiah Hunter, again, an absolute baller. You had the Williams Nwaneri and Dasan McCullough again coming through, having big days. You had Archie with the punts. You had Kyle Cunanan. I mean, this entire transporter class, Andrew Marshall. I know that the program struggled in the transportal in 2023, and they had some misses in 2024. But this class here has really, really, really paid off and made me more kind of kind of at ease with Matt Rhule going into the transfer portal as opposed to previous years. Like, I'm not going to sit here and say, oh, no, we have to go to the transfer portal. Can they evaluate talent? This class has proven to me that they can in the portal, and it's made me kind of more willing to go into the portal with this staff.
Yeah, this transfer portal class did do a really great job. Williams Nwaneri had 8 pressures on Saturday, which led all Big Ten defenders. I mean, he really is coming into his own. So that is truly exciting.
Which why he was a 5-star recruit.
Yeah, and Dasan McCullough, I mean, he had a couple of bad plays. Like he did make a key tackle for loss. The first rushing touchdown, like he just gave up the edge.
Yeah.
And so he's got to get better at that. He's got to improve at that. But he did come up and make a big play, and he has been a stellar pass rusher. So he's been a good addition. Like Andrew Marshall, God, I love watching him tackle.
Yeah.
He just not only is he a great cover corner, but he gets guys down in space, and that's something that is an underrated trait for a defense, just getting people on the ground. Like that was you look at the 2023 Michigan defense and why they were so elite, because as soon as somebody caught the ball, they got their ass to the ground. There was very little yards after the catch, and Nebraska's, they had a few missed tackles. It wasn't perfect on Saturday, but Andrew Marshall rarely missed tackles. So I liked what I've seen from him. And yeah, and Isaiah Hunter, like this dude's going to be an NFL receiver. Honestly, like he's already overtaken Dane Key as the number 1 option in this offense, in my opinion. I mean, 5 catches, 125 yards. He can do things after the catch the fact that he took both of those tunnel screens for touchdowns, like that's
exact
incredible.
Same play it looked like.
I mean, like just to have a guy who's that fast, and NFL teams are going to be all over this guy. but yeah, Dane Key, and then just Emmett Johnson. Oh my gosh, this guy. And that
Yeah.
was one of the predictions I had before the game, is that he was going to have over 100 yards. And against like this Maryland defense against Wisconsin and Washington, they gave up an average of 88 yards. So Nebraska came in here against a team that was also allowing 2.6 yards per carry, and they ran for 193 yards. And a lot of that, yes, was Emmett Johnson. Let's give some credit to the offensive line too. Like those guys really stepped up. They ran the ball well. They only allowed 1 sack.
Yeah.
I know there was pressure, but like the pass protection after giving up 12 sacks in the last 2 weeks against a team that had 9 sacks in his first 2 Big Ten games, to only give up 1 sack, I thought was a huge plus for Maiola and the offensive line and everybody involved in the protection.
I was going to say, that's a good Maryland defensive line. I know they're a little bit young, but I feel like that's a really good defensive line. And, I got to give props where props are due. Malik Washington is an absolute stud.
Mm-hmm.
He is an absolute stud. As a freshman, he was making some throws. I was like, whoa. And I know we were able to ultimately contain him, but he is fun to watch as well. And I hadn't really seen a ton of him prior to this game, but he doesn't play like a freshman at all. I don't know if you got that same kind of thought, but he is a really good quarterback. And as a football fan, I'm excited to watch him for years to come. Hopefully Nebraska can stifle him for another game or two, but he is a really, really good quarterback. So I thought they did a good job of kind of, containing him when they needed to, because he's hard to contain.
Yeah, that was I predicted that Nebraska would hold him to a season low, which would have been under 219 yards, and almost did it, but he threw for 249. He really did make some impressive throws. They were able to get a little bit of pressure on him, but he even ran a little bit a few times. So I thought he was really good, but the difference the crazy thing to me is that this was Nebraska was -3 in turnovers. Like if they're not -3, they probably win this game by 10 points.
Mm-hmm.
But even outside of that, Rhule was still 20 of 29, 260, 4 touchdowns. Emmett, 21 carries, 176 yards. I mean, he was looking like Amir Abdullah. Like he really was impressive. And just to be 5-1 for the second year in a row, we're ranked in the AP poll. Just a really good place for this program to be at. This was a big test, and we've got a couple of good tests coming up the next 2 weeks. But win these 2 games, and man, it's going to be a massive game for USC, which is now ranked after beating Michigan on Saturday, and as they should be.
So coming up, was Penn State that bad, or is Northwestern also a team that we should maybe kind of not watch out for, but kind of keep in the back of our minds?
I think it is an awakening that there are no easy wins. I mean, you and I have said this numerous times, but there's no guaranteed wins in the Big Ten. I mean, everybody is spending millions and millions of dollars on their rosters, even Northwestern. And David Braun's a good coach. So
I like him a lot.
You're not ready. You're going to get beat in this league. It doesn't matter. Like we've seen, Northwestern. I mean, if you looked at the first, few weeks of the league, I guess I would say probably Purdue and Wisconsin have been the worst teams, but even they have played some decent games on the road. I mean, Wisconsin got beat 37-0 by Iowa. That was pretty bad. So if anybody needed to be fired, it's probably Luke Fickell. I do think Penn State. That UCLA game obviously is going to be. What's interesting is right now, like that UCLA road game might look more difficult than the Penn State one.
I was thinking the same thing this morning, and I thought I might have been crazy, but I had the same thought as well.
I mean, because UCLA, they beat Michigan State 38-13 on the road.
Yeah.
Like, I don't care who it is. Like, we barely beat that Michigan State team at home, and they beat them by 25 in East Lansing. So, there's no easy games. That one is at home though, right? The Northwestern one.
I believe so. Yeah.
Yeah. So that'll be a benefit. You got to get this one Friday night. So I feel confident.
Tough turnaround.
Tough turnaround. But overall, I'm really impressed with this team because we've said this. I think we said after the Michigan game, it's not always going to be pretty, and you just have to find ways to get it done. And that's what they're doing. And Matt Rhule, on that front, it's mission accomplished for him. Like he really has transformed the mindset of this team and a lot of, turnovers. I know we had turnovers on Saturday, but for the most part, he's fixed that issue. He's fixed the issue of the turnovers. He's fixed the issue of special teams with the help of Mike Eckler. And now he has taught the Huskers how to win. And that's going to be a huge asset going down the stretch.
And even those turnovers, they didn't feel like typical, like cue the Benny Hill music, Nebraska turnovers of years past. Those were interceptions. You don't make a play. You got a freshman receiver who, honestly, I think is going to be really good. So those mistakes are going to happen, especially when you try to integrate them in the offense. But I also think that's a really good Maryland team, and I know some Husker fans, say, "Oh, we can barely beat a weak Maryland team." Maryland is not a weak team. Maryland is not a weak team at all, and they have a lot of talent. And the fact that we were able to go on the road and beat them was very impressive to me. Winning on the road in the Big Ten is never easy. Never mind just winning in the Big Ten. So, and again, you and I have talked about where's the running back depth. Can Emmett stay healthy? Can he carry the load the whole way? Well, he looked pretty damn good on Saturday, so maybe he can.
Yeah, maybe he can. So let's get into our grades here. So
Yeah.
in terms of the offense, 400 and 453 total yards. He had 3 turnovers, 193 rushing. I mean, you score 34 points. I'm gonna go A minus because of the turnovers, but that's the only. I mean, outside of that, I thought the offense was pretty damn good on Saturday.
I'll go B plus just because of the turnovers. Otherwise, no complaints on the offense.
So the defense, I mean, the defense wasn't perfect. And I'm not going to sit here and act like this, this is a flawed team, but every team's a flawed team. 379. The thing that did worry me a little bit is this Maryland team did not run the ball well at all this year, and they ran for 130 yards. So I do think, the run defense still a little bit of a wart. They didn't come up with a turnover, only 1 sack. So I'm going to say B minus. They kind of, the offense turned it over, put them in some tough spots, but they also could have made a few more plays. But they did come up with 2 massive stops in the fourth quarter when they really needed it. So I'll upgrade them just to a B.
I'll go B2. I mean, the run defense, honestly, it is what it is at this point, and I don't think much is going to change. But I think the offense did really put them in some tough spots, and they were on the field for quite a while in this one. So B minus as well. I mean, at the end of the day, they got the job done, which is what you need. I don't care how it looks. You got to get the job done, and they were able to do it when they needed to.
In terms of special teams, another A+ performance. I mean, Kenneth Williams, 86-yard return, gets the scholarship after. Ja'Cory Barney had a decent return on one. I thought it may have been called back, but made the field goal again. Only 1 missed kick all season for Kyle Kuanen. So yeah, great performance, I would say, all around.
I didn't know too much about Kenneth Williams when when the season began, but now he's making me know his name and learn about him. And what a great story! What a great returner! And Nebraska's definitely found their returner in that regard. I'd go A again. I mean, you talk about transformations, and you talked about it in our Coffee with Husker Big Red on Saturday. Mike Eckler has completely turned this unit around.
Yeah, and as far as the coaching staff, I'm going to give them an A. I mean, I think that they did a good job. I liked the decisions that they made. I did think they wanted to go for it on that 4th down. I don't know if there was a delay of game, if that was intentional or not. But it ended up working out in the end. I'm trying to think. There weren't that many decisions, I would say, one way or another that were super consequential. I know they had a couple. There was the 4th and 1, I think, on like a first drive that they got stuffed on. If I remember correctly.
Yeah. Yep.
So yeah, I mean, but again, I like the aggressiveness that Matt Rhule has shown. I don't have any problem going forward on 4th down, especially on the opposing side of the field. Like if it's 4th and less than 4 with this quarterback, I want him to go for it every time.
Yeah, no, I love the fact that they're going for more on 4th downs. I know it's frustrating when they don't convert it, but I love it. I love the aggressiveness. Mike Vrabel with my Patriots does the same thing, and I love it. So I have no problem for them going for it on 4th down, especially on a windy day, which I think we're going to see a lot more of coming up as the weather gets colder. But A+ for the coaches. I have no complaints there. I love the aggressiveness. I love the fact that we were able to get the ball out quicker and put a little bit less pressure on the offensive line. I think those two things go hand in hand. So I thought the play calling was really good. They just kept feeding the ball to Emmett, and Emmett delivered. So no complaints there. I thought they managed the flow of the game really well.
All right, so let's look at our hottest takes from this Nebraska win over Maryland, 34-31. So I'll go with you, Danny. What's your hottest take from this Maryland victory for Nebraska?
Wow, there's so many, but Emmett Johnson is the second best running back in the Big Ten, only to Justice Hayes.
Yeah, I can see that. Mine actually was about Emmett Johnson as well, and I think he's the best back Nebraska's had since Amir Abdullah, which probably isn't that hot of a take, but I think he's going to put up some Amir Abdullah type numbers. I mean, we talked at the beginning of the season, like, I said, 1,500 total yards, and I had to clarify not rushing yards, but he maybe could get 1,500 total rushing yards at this point.
Yeah.
Like if he stays, if he stays healthy, I mean, he had 196 yards on 23 touches on Saturday. That's special, and to do that in a Big Ten game. Like we haven't seen a performance like that since Dedrick Mills, did it again. He got 191 against Rutgers in the 2020 COVID game. So
I do remember that one. Yeah. Wow. What a name pull there. Wow.
Yeah. It just, I mean, it was, that 50-yard run that reminded me of Amir. When he like that run he had against McNeese State when we really needed a big play and almost lost that one.
He was a man on a mission. Both of those guys were men on a mission with those runs. I mean, Emmett, you could just see he wanted those yards. He wanted that big play, and he was fighting every step of the way.
Yeah, and that play changed the game. Like to me. That run, I mean, fired him. I mean, he was like, he could have went down so many times on that run. He just kept fighting and scratching and clawing, and that's exactly what you need. And this dude is incredible. He better freaking get all Big Ten honors this year, or we need to raid the offices in Indianapolis. I mean, like this guy has been outside of Justice Haynes. There hasn't been a better running back in the Big Ten. And
so I know we said that Nebraska doesn't have a lot of all Big Ten players coming into the season, but I think there's a couple emerging, and we could have quite a few names on these teams by the end of it.
Yeah, I mean, I think receiver you'd have a strong case, although oh my god, it's this. You have Jeremiah Smith, Mekhi Lemon, Cornell Tate. Like it's ridiculous. The guys from Oregon, but yeah, I definitely think Isaiah Hunter, should be in that mix.
Emmett,
Emmett for sure.
Andrew Marshall,
Andrew Marshall, maybe Sayre Wright. I think Williams Nowhere is honestly starting to make a case for himself. He really is. And then Raiola. I think Raiola would be in the mix. Now, I mean, sure, Dante Moore's been better this year. The Indiana quarterback's been pretty darn good, but Julian Sayin also has been really good. I mean, but I would put Raiola in there. I mean, 16 touchdowns, 5 interceptions. I mean, he's on pace for 32 touchdown passes in the regular season. Like if he throws 30 touchdowns, he better get some type of all Big Ten. I mean, if you throw 30 touchdowns and you're not like third team all Big Ten, that's a pretty damn high bar. So we'll see. But it's been good. And who knows? Archie might be in the mix for that if he could actually get some more punt attempts. He doesn't get a lot of punt attempts, so which is a good
or bad thing. I guess.
Good. That's it. Yeah. I mean, one missed field goal. Like he's been money. So it's been Mike Eckler. You know what? Like, how long is it before people start talking about Mike Eckler for a head coaching job? Because I know special teams guys don't get it that much, but I mean, look at what John Harbaugh did with the Ravens. And if I was a program, I'm not saying that I want him to leave ever, but if I was like a Power 4 program or even a Group of 5 team and I needed a head coach, I mean, why not? That guy is such an incredible leader of men. And if you can coach special teams, you can coach the entire team. So I don't know. Just I think that guy is a hell of a coach, and maybe he might be the second best coach on this staff.
Let's stop the head coaching rumors for now. Just for now. Although I get what you're saying, just for now, let's stop the head coach rumors.
I mean, luckily nobody in college football is like, let's go hire the special teams coach. They always want the fancy play caller, So I don't think we have to worry about it. But for my money, there isn't a better coach on this staff. Like, for what he's paid and all that type of stuff. Like Mike Eckler's probably the best value in Nebraska football.
And look, I know people coming into the season were like, why the hell did we give EJ Barthel an extension? He hasn't really done much. He hasn't developed the running backs, blah, 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 yada, yada. But this year, and, I agreed with them to a point. I wasn't really too impressed with what Barthel, has done so far. But this year and the work he's done with Johnson, and I get a lot of it's natural skill on the part of Johnson, but he's done a great job with Emmett, and he's really I think, developed Emmett's game in terms of, just running harder, making big plays. And so I have to give a shout out to EJ Barthel as well, because I too was wondering if he deserved the extension, and I think he's proved it this year.
Yeah, absolutely. And speaking of extensions, it would be that now would probably be a good time to put one in front of Matt Rhule if you're going to do that, Troy Dannon. So I know I said the other day I was kind of up in the air about it, but now that James Franklin is gone, I mean, it's probably is the step that you need to take. So we'll see.
Yeah, I think I was like a hell yeah the other day, but now I'm even more of a hell yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I'm all in on Matt Rhule, so that would be nice if we could, it would be funny if Matt Rhule, instead of Matt Rhule, we get Troy Dannon, and he's all like, "Hey, got Matt Rhule signed to a." I mean, he is signed through like a long time.
2031.
Like, I know that, but even just getting something done, giving him a little bit of a raise or something to show some appreciation, I think would be a good step by Nebraska, and just to secure the coach. But really, at the end of the day, I think Matt Rhule really loves Nebraska, and I don't think he's going anywhere.
I don't think so either, because his wife has a business and his kids are in school, and I don't think so either.
So, all right, you guys, we will wrap it up there. If you haven't already, please make sure that you hit the like button, hit the subscribe button. We'll come back on Thursday to preview the Minnesota game on Friday night. So mark that on your calendars. And as always, go Big Red.
Go Big Red.